All right, everybody, let's discuss methods of doom. This is your first 10-point project here. And what I'm going to want you to do, we've already built several methods, so most of these shouldn't be a big deal. Uh, Maybe the last one that revisits the loops. But if you look back over your old programs, it shouldn't really be a big deal either. But you're going to make 5 methods. Now, I don't mean go in the main and make this stuff happen. I mean, you're going to have a method called method 1, a method called method 2, method 3, 4, 5. And keep in mind that for a method, you actually can't, like, if it's print, you can't have a space. It's not going to be print 1. It has to be print 1 together, or print underscore 1, or something like that. Now, method 1 doesn't return anything. Now, the key word there when I say doesn't return anything, well, if it's not giving anything back, then what does that mean is going to happen? What is it going to be? A public static void, for example. Doesn't take anything. Well, when I pass a variable to it, I give it arguments. And if by chance, I want to give it something, then that means I'm going to give it 3 doubles or 2 doubles or a string or something along the lines of that. If I give it nothing, that means in parentheses, I won't have anything there. I'm not giving it anything. This is just going to print the following phrase. All hail the mighty Java teacher, all hail. That's all that method does. You run it in the main, it displays that phrase. Method 2, this takes 2 doubles. So I'm going to give it 2 doubles as arguments. It doesn't return anything, so that should tell you what kind of method that's going to be. And it's going to add those 2 numbers. Then, after it adds, multiply by 3. After that happens, it's going to add 15. After that, it will multiply by 2, and then after that, it will subtract 20 in that order. And it's going to print the answer. So this is going to do some math. And keep in mind, you can't just write, a plus b times 3 plus 15 times 2. Order of operations matter here. So there's several different ways to do this, but you have to do it in the order that I've listed. Method 3. This will take 3 integers, and it will multiply all 3 numbers together and return the answer. So it's going to take 3 ints and return the answer. So an int times an int times an int, what is that value going to be when you return it? Well, they're all ints, so it'll probably be 1 as well. And you display your answer on the screen. Back in the main. Method 4, this is going to take 2 ints, and it's not going to return anything. You're going to give it 2 integers. If both those numbers are the same, it should print happy, happy, joy, joy. If the numbers are different, then you will print boo boo kachoo. So it's just going to print a message on the screen depending on those 2 numbers. But you have to check to see if they are the same or not. Method 5 is typically the one that people have the most trouble with, but this method asks you inside the method how many times do you want to loop. Now, if you don't want to put in like a scanner or something, it's fine if you just pass it that value. It doesn't have to necessarily have a little pop-up that pops up and you type it in. So I'm going to give you some leeway on this one. You can either have it not take anything and ask for that input in the method, or you can pass it that value from the main. That's fine too. So I'll give you those 2 options. And it's going to ask you how many times you're going to loop. If you pass it the number, it will loop that many times. If it asks for it, you type it in, it's going to loop that many times. So the loop will display its party time each time the loop executes. So if I say 5, it'll display that 5 times. If I say 10, it'll display that 10 times. However you want that to work, that's what I want method 5 to be. So you notice it's 10 points. That means each of these methods is worth 2. Now, as always, if you have any trouble with this, look back at the projects. There are videos posted. You should have all those projects too. If you don't, this might be a little difficult if you haven't gone through the previous projects yet. So it always helps to go through there and build those projects. Now, each method will be worth 2 points. Even if you haven't been paying super close attention in class, which is terrible if that's you, you should at least be able to get some of these, turn it in and get some points. Never turn in nothing. If you turn in absolutely nothing or an empty file or you don't turn anything at all, you get a 0, a big 0. When at least half of these we have done in previous programs. Most of it is just make a few tweaks to what we've done. So that are your 5 methods. Methods of doom. Now if you have any questions or anything, feel free to ask me. If you don't, then I will see you in class or during the next video.